Okay. Good morning. Today is Tuesday, June 28th. My name is Christina Dillabo. I am the Director of Communications for the Desert Southwest Conference, and you are watching or joining us for Tuesday Talks, a weekly discussion with church communicators where we can share, here's what's coming up from both sides of the table. It could be about district news, local church news, denominational news, or the conference. And hopefully, sometimes we've got like a lot of great questions or ideas, conversation about a struggle or some discovery that helps others that do the same type of work. And normally I send out a follow-up email that includes all my notes from things that we discussed, links and whatever. And I realized I did not do that last week. So I will include last week's notes in this week's follow-up email. So that's in case you were wondering, what happened with that? I don't remember seeing that. You didn't see it. You're not going crazy. I didn't send it, but I'm going to send it today. I hate to say I promise, because you never know. What if I have a heart attack? No, I will send it. Okay, so that's what's going on with last week's notes. But I'm wondering, are there any comments, questions, concerns about stuff from last week?
Nope.
All right, then let's keep going. I do have a communication staff update. Maybe a week or two ago, I announced that we were hiring and found a candidate for the position of communications assistant editor. And sadly, it just ended up not being a good match. So we're back to square one, looking for the perfect communicator that can do everything and then some. So if you know someone that fits the bill, please connect them to me. The job post is on the conference website under classifieds. I will include the link to that job post so you can review it and have it handy to share with someone else. Any questions or comments about that? Okay. And I am looking to hire immediately. So I'm doing interviews this week. And if we find the right candidate this week, maybe next week I'll have someone to introduce to y'all. Assuming that the candidate, whoever it may be, is available this quickly. But yeah, but I want to hire somebody yesterday. Okay, so I had a question about volunteer background screening compliance. One of our churches was asking, saying, let me see, I think I wrote it down somewhere. Nah, of course I can't find it. All right, so one of our churches was asking me about it, saying that they were going to run background screening for some volunteers. Do other churches do this? Is there something that churches could use? And so that made me think about, oh, well, potentially this might be a new staff person that is not aware that every church should have a safe sanctuaries policy in place. And that safe sanctuary policy talks about the need to do background checks, and there's training that should be happening, and like training renewals or reviews or retraining, whatever that happens. All of this is to make sure that our churches are a safe place for everyone, especially those vulnerable people, which could be children, it could be seniors, it could be who knows who. I mean, with these background screening checks, that's just one part of the safe sanctuaries policy. But that helps to ensure that the people that we're relying on to work on behalf of the church, to connect with others, that we've done our due diligence in making sure that it is someone that it is safe. So with that said, I will send you all the link to the Safe Sanctuaries webpage where it talks about the resource that we recommend. In fact, I'm going to share my screen real quick. This is the page. It's dscumc.org/safe sanctuaries. And you can see some example policies. So if you're a pastor that's at a new church and you don't have a safe sanctuary policy in place, you can take a look at these, work with your trustees committee or whoever church council may be, and revise it so that the policy for your church matches your church's ministry and culture and all that good stuff. So we use, where is it, Safe Gatherings as a training portal, the background checks, all of that. And so you can read here that individuals training is $45 and registration is available at this link. If you needed to talk to someone about the Safe Sanctuaries policies or have questions about Safe Gatherings, Kat Hulbert, our camping and retreat ministries director, is the person that is now assigned to managing the Safe Gatherings, Safe Sanctuary policies for our churches. So that doesn't mean that it's her responsibility to create a policy for anyone. She's just a resource that's available for your church to talk to someone that would know or could guide or could review your policy to make sure, like, yep, that looks good. You've covered all the bases. She's got extensive experience in that. So she's a great person to contact. Do you have questions about that? Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. The next item. And so this is also just a good reminder, if you don't already have it on your schedule to run your Safe Sanctuaries training, it's a great time to schedule that. VBS is right around the corner if you're not already on it. So it's not like you have to do the Safe Sanctuaries training just before VBS. It could be in the fall when you have more people around, but just make sure that you've done it at least once a year. Okay, next item on my list is local church stories. Got any stories to pitch? So I did get one story from one of our churches that is doing TikTok on a weekly basis. I think it's called I watched it too, and I was trying to find the email with all the information. The TikTok account is Methodist Minute. And it's really cool. What she's doing is she's actually a person that's on the path to ordination. I don't remember where she's at right now, but what she's doing is every week, sometimes it's a couple times a week, she's posting answering a frequently asked question about what it means to be United Methodist. Maybe it's a specific aspect about why do you guys do that? So she talks about, I can't remember. I don't remember if she talked a little bit about ordination or there was something else that was kind of like, wow, that's someone, that's a deeper dive question that she made it really interesting though. And for the most part, they're usually a minute or less. And she's already said, hey, if other churches want to use this content, she's basically going to start building more content off of what she will need for their confirmation class. So that would definitely be a great resource for any church. And she is making sure to review, she does her homework and shares the stuff that's official responses, official answers. It's not opinion based. So check it out. I will include a link to her TikTok, and we will have a story in conference news about it in case you're wondering, oh, well, I've often wondered if my church should have a TikTok account. So this is a great example of how submitting your local church stories can make a difference, what type of stories we're looking for. This is just one avenue, the avenue being an inspiration and kind of how-to article where you get to brag about, hey, our church is doing this new and cool thing, but then I'll interview you and find out more details about, oh, well, how did you get that started? How did you fund it? What did you discover that you needed to make it happen? Were there any pitfalls that churches need to be aware of? And ideally, at the end, we've got maybe the contact information for who to talk to at your church about that ministry in case another church reads the article and wants to venture out and try it themselves. They know who they can talk to about it that's already gone through that path and has figured out the way to the end. So yeah, go ahead, Jim.
I had that young lady in one of my breakout rooms at the annual conference, and she's very good. I would highly recommend that you listen to those two,
Well, and she happened to be the winner of our podcast kit at annual conference for the photo contest. So that was especially exciting. Talk about, I mean, the whole thing I was hoping to do with those prizes was to enhance the church's ministry. And in this case, potentially it's going to enhance every one of our church's ministries. If any church that wants to use it, like that was a total win-win. Okay, so next item, unless there's any stories that somebody wants to pitch now or has a question or idea for a potential story pitch. Okay. Oh, today's John Wesley's birthday. Happy birthday, John Wesley. I'm not going to start singing though, but I will include that in my follow-up notes. Thanks. So the next item is about communication support. It's really just a reminder that, especially right now, as some clergy are transitioning to a new appointment, or for any church that's not getting a new pastor, but maybe they're rethinking how they're doing things. Summertime seems to be one of the good times to work on, it's almost like spring cleaning. You know, there's not as many people around, so you might have a little more quiet time in the church office. With VBS, I know it gets crazy busy again, but hopefully you're not the person that's running VBS. I worked at a local church before, and I ended up being in charge of Christian education and running VBS. So if that's you, I'm sorry. You're one of the amazing people that can do it all and then some, that's saying, yes, please, I'll have more. You're incredible. But if you're not, you're still doing great work as a church communicator. It's I don't know, it's quite the ministry, right? And so sometimes you need help. Maybe if this is the time where you wanted to, if you were thinking about, we need to do a refresh on our website, or we need to clean up stuff, or man, I'd love to figure out how to do some automation where I don't have to run a newsletter in MailChimp and post stuff on my website. Be so great if I could just post it on the website and that automatically sends it to social media, sends it to the newsletter, whatever else you might want to do. That's something that we could explore together. We do have some automation in place like that for the conference communications. I used If This, Then That to automatically post articles that are on the conference website onto social media. I use that to automatically share stories from the general church onto our conferences Facebook page. I use a connection between MailChimp and WordPress. So I'm not using If This, Then That anymore. This is something else to automatically, by using categories on our WordPress site, I can post an article one time, select different categories, and that makes the article pop up in different places on our website as if I posted it in other locations. And it triggers a newsletter to be published from MailChimp either that day or at the end of the week or once a month, whatever I scheduled. I don't have to worry about publishing that newsletter because it happens automatically. So this might be a good time to explore something like that. If your church doesn't have an online payment method working yet, or you're wanting to try something different, one of the payment portals that we recommend using is Tithely. It's easy to use and we can help you with it. You know, we do kind of a screen share so you can see what I'm doing. And because it's always kind of uncomfortable to work on finance stuff for us, another organization. And it feels like, wait a minute, so can you always go in and check to see what our balance is or what's going on? No, the way it works is I'll set it up for you. And I may, like, for, let's say the pastor's the one that's running it, or your finance chair, whoever it may be, we'll use their email address. I'll be working with them to say, okay, I just activated, check your email account for something from Tithely that has this link, click on the link, and then I do more work. And then once I've got it pretty much set up, we'll do a screen share and I show you, here's where you go to find this, here's whatever else. And then at that point, the whole time I'm using kind of a generic password that you would know, I would know, but then after that, it's like we stop the screen share and I ask the person to change the password. So now I don't have access to it. We're not using my emails at all. And then I also remind them, don't share the password with anybody. So there's that. Then, yeah, go ahead, Bob.
Quick question with regards to that. How amenable is that program to a mission church that doesn't have much resources? I mean, we probably on a given Sunday, our tithes and offerings will be less than $100. And yet I have a couple of individuals that are one's in Maryland. And she asked me about that. How can I donate to the church? Can I do it electronically? And I said, well, right now we can't because we just don't have anything set up. I know we had, I can't remember what it is that Wilcox UMC is using, but we had the link on the web page and on the worship sketches each Sunday and that sort of thing. But they get a percentage, and I'm assuming that would be the same with this program as well.
Kind of, yes. I'm going to share my screen so I speak accurately. So Tithely can be at zero cost to the church, but I say can be because there is going to be like a percentage type fee or a flat fee or whatever. But the thing is that because Tithely is also, you can see on the top right where it's got church login, it's meant for, oops, sorry. Lost my train of thought. What I was going to say is you can set it up where you can have the option where when somebody's donating online, they can click to make it where part of their donation, let's say I was donating $20. I can click to make my donation be $20 plus the church's like service fee. So there wouldn't be anything lost from the church's side of it. But that's up to me as a donor to decide, yeah, okay, charge me the $20 plus the, 35 cents to donate. Okay, fine, I'll pay for that. So that's how it works. You can see down here, there's these other, these are those little fees that would come out potentially out of the donor if they checkmark that. I don't remember if there's an option where it'll just flat always come out of the donation. So if I wanted to donate $20, then the church actually gets $20 minus whatever this percentage is. I think that's probably the default, but at least there's an option where the church doesn't have to pay for that percentage.
Okay.
And it's pretty quick and easy to set up. I'd say the biggest hassle is getting the paperwork that we need to submit to verify that whoever it is that's the bank account manager or signer for your church, to verify that this is legitimate, it really is them. It's kind of uncomfortable and awkward to ask that person, I need a picture of your driver's license. I need your social security number. So that stuff's like, I'm not keeping it. Like, we just need to put it in there. And it could even be done 100%, just doing a screen share. You don't even need me to do it. Your church could set it up all on their own. The offer is just, if you feel overwhelmed with setting up something like this, then we're there to help you. And you could be the one, or you could have your finance chair, whoever it is that has the signership on the bank account, you could have them join us in a Zoom meeting. So they're never giving me any information, but they would need to upload the picture of their driver's license into the Tithely portal. So that's how that can work. I can be as involved as you need me to be, or as little as you need me to be. But once it's set up, that's when I'm done. I'm out of the picture. And now if there's something going on with your Tithely account, you would use the Tithely's customer support to troubleshoot and correct anything.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Quick question, and just kind of, or not a question, a comment, kind of ties in with what you were talking about of, maybe churches that are receiving new pastors. But if we think about it, the pastors are only appointed for 1 year at a time. And so that means each year, each July 1 is a new appointment for that particular path for any of us. And there is a wonderful service in the book of worship that talks, it's guided through welcoming or the celebration of an appointment. And if you all have not seen that or looked at it, the summertime is a great time to do that. It's encompasses within the worship service itself, and various people from the congregation. Somebody will bring up a Bible and present the Bible to the pastor. Somebody will present a communion chalice or a platen, a number of different things to celebrate that pastor's appointment to the church. And I would highly recommend it. There's, that and the renewal of baptismal vows service that's in the hymnal. You talk to most people in most churches, they have no idea. They'll look at you like you got two heads, that they've never even heard of a reaffirmation of baptismal vows. We used to do that at annual conference, and I am sorry that practice has stopped, because I never walked up to that big copper basin to renew my baptismal vows without tears in my eyes. It just is so moving to do that. So those are two things that I would offer in relationship to summer and new pastors and appointments and that sort of thing.
Okay, thank you, Bob. Appreciate that. So if there aren't any other ideas or questions, concerns to share, then I think I'm going to let you guys go. It's 10:23. We got through it in 23 minutes. Awesome. Yeah, go ahead, Bob.
One last question. I would love to get someone. I really need somebody that is techno savvy, more so than I am, to come to the Bowie Church and let me show them what we're doing or how I'm doing it, which is less than perfect, because it seems like every Sunday there's a glitch in technology of getting the YouTube up and running, or getting the Zoom going, or who's sharing or who's co-hosting, and I'm at wit's end to try and find somebody from the conference or any other church for that matter, that knows what the heck they're doing a lot more than I do.
Hey, all right. Well, I have heard your request and I wrote myself some notes. So I'm going to send you an email after this so we can connect and schedule some time.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me for Tuesday Talks again. I hope you have a great rest of your week.